would like to give my offerings to to our Lord Dhanvantari. I would also like to welcome and all the delegates. And not taking much time, let's move with our today's topic, Ayurvedic management of psoriasis. Just okay. So why skin? Why we have to talk on skin? Because we all know that it is one of the most important organ that we communicate with the external world, and we also know that it is very largely associated with beauty. There is huge cosmetic importance for both the sexes. It is not only the females who want to be beautiful and have fair skin and glowing skin, but it is equally important with the males in today's world. There is a reference in Davidson's 18th edition which says that skin is a mirror that reflects internal and external pathology and thus helps in diagnosis of various diseases. We know that if there is any internal pathology like pallor or like Pandu, in Pandu pallor is expressed through skin, and erythema, then if there is jaundice, so all these things are reflected on the skin. So that is why skin is important. It is called as the mirror of the internal pathology and the health of the body. That's why and if we see in Ayurveda, when all the saras have been mentioned, Raktasar, Mausasar, Astisar, Asti, Majja, Shukrasar, but we find that Rasasar has not been mentioned. Instead of Rasasar, they have described it as Tvakasar. So that is the importance of Twacha in Ayurveda. We also know that it is an important diagnostic tool in clinical practice. Any kind of internal pathology, the first appearance we see when we see a patient, we see the face or the skin of the patient. So it is the most important tool for diagnosis in our practice. So you know this face, a very familiar face. She is a model in the West. She is also a socialist. Her name is Kim Karadarshan West. And see how beautiful she looks. So why I have put her picture here, I'll tell you now. And this is the photo that she has recently shared on Instagram and various websites, where she has actually made aware people about her psoriatic conditions, where she tells a story. In the story, she's telling everybody that at the age of 25, she had sudden flares, and when she also has a family history where her mother is a psoriatic. She also describes, you can search the web, and you also can see that she says that her mother is a psoriatic patient who was benefited with the UV therapy, where she was benefited with the phototherapy, phototherapy that is now recently used in psoriatic treatment by modern medicine, and she did not really gain much relief from the same treatment. So how she suffered, and recently she is suffering from psoriatic arthritis. So the importance of beauty, like not even the models or the beautiful looking females are spared with this. Also, she says that if you have psoriasis, you can't let it ruin your life or get the best of you. So this is what you find. There is this is another model. Her name is Cara Delevingne, and if you can see, appreciate the patches on her legs. So the association of psoriasis with beauty, of skin with beauty, and people in the West have become more aware, and they are making aware people, and they are coming out publicly with their skin conditions. But this thing in India, we will not be able to see much. So what she says that embrace your individuality. In spite of the skin problems, you have to live with it the rest of the life, because the doctors there have told them there is no treatment in allopathy for the same. If we see the historical review of Kushtha, we know that in olden days, just because somebody was having skin problem or Kushtha, that person was not allowed to become the king or inherit the ancestral heritage of the family. So the social stigma attached with the disease is such that it affects the patient psychologically, socially, physically, emotionally. So it has got a vast importance in Ayurvedic practice of today's clinical practice. Before going into the depth of Ayurvedic treatment, we'll just take a glimpse of a little modern portion of the disease, because when people come to us in our clinic, they are mostly gone through all the modern medications. They have taken treatment for a longer time, and after taking much treatment for a longer time, there is not much relief, and so they come to us. And so we should be aware of a few terminologies. So we'll just take a quick glimpse at the allopathic or the modern aspect of the disease. So we all know it is a papillosquamous disorder, and it is a common chronic disfiguring inflammatory and proliferative epidermal skin disorder which is mediated by T cells. So autoimmunity has got a role. It is an autoimmune disorder. It affects 1 to 3% of the world population, and its incidence is higher in cold climatic conditions and lower in tropical environments. So atmospheric changes or the climatic conditions have an important impact on the disorder. Then it is a genetic disorder. It usually follows with family history. It is found in 30% of the patients. There are still researches going on, and it is believed that histocompatibility antigen HLA-CW6, it is associated with psoriasis, but still the research is going on as to why the psoriasis is formed in the body or is there in the body. So there is still research going on, and there is equal male to female prevalence, and it occurs between the age group of 20 to 40 years of age group. So if you see the pathogenesis of psoriasis according to the modern medicine, it is still unclear. So they say that the initial reaction is possibly an intrinsic defect of keratinocytes with increased cytokine productions, which leads to expansion of type 1 cytokines, and which subsequently results in the epidermal proliferation, in which the neutrophils are migrated into the epidermis, and there is proliferation of blood vessels in the papillary dermis. So actually, if you see the time for a normal epithelial cell to reach the top layer, that is the process of keratinization, it is usually 4 weeks, that is 26 to 30 days. But in case of psoriasis, it is as fast as 3 to 4 days. And that is the reason why we see the scaling in psoriasis. That is the epidermal scaling that we see in the psoriasis patients. So there are certain precipitating factors which are associated with the diseases we should know, because when we ask the patient about the history, we should be considering all these points. So stress and anxiety, yes, they all precipitate psoriasis. I had a patient wherein with the treatment the patient was having very good relief, but suddenly because of a close relative's death in the family, the psoriasis almost fled overnight. So it is that significant impact stress and anxiety has on psoriasis. Alcohol and smoking, they also aggravate psoriasis. Certain medications like chloroquine, lithium, beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, and NSAIDs, they also precipitate or they aggravate psoriasis. Then if you suddenly withdraw systemic steroids, there is increase in the psoriasis or aggravation of the psoriasis. And irritants could be various chemicals, dishwashers, perfumes, various ointments. So these could be the irritants, and various infections. Usually infections are staphylococcal infections. After staphylococcal infections, psoriasis is aggravated. This is especially seen in the gutted type of psoriasis. So based on the classification of psoriasis, if we see based on the morphology, there are 5 types. That is the psoriasis vulgaris, gutted psoriasis, flexural, pustular, and erythrodermic. This is the picture of plaque psoriasis. This is the pustular, where you can see the pus formation. Plaque psoriasis, the plaques are big and they are very dry, scaly, itchy. Flexural, you usually see in the flexes, and then the gutted, it usually follows the staphylococcal infections of the throat. So you get a patient who says that recently he had a throat infection, and after that suddenly spots in 15 to 20 days, there are spots all over the body. So that is cuttated type of psoriasis, and erythrodermic is very painful condition. So these in short. Then based on this involvement of site, there is scalp psoriasis, there is inverse psoriasis, nail psoriasis, palmoplantar psoriasis, genital psoriasis, and psoriatic arthritis. We will see the picture. This is the first picture is showing the scalp psoriasis, and then the this is the nail psoriasis, palmoplantar. You can see the genital psoriasis, inverse psoriasis. So looking at the picture, this is psoriatic arthritis. This is in the later stage, and it is very painful condition. Symptoms are very much similar to normal arthritis. So the most common sites of psoriasis, because when a patient comes to you and you get confused whether it is an eczema or whether it is in psoriasis. So if you see the common sites of psoriasis lesions, they are usually the scalp, the ears, the elbows, the gluteal area, the umbilicus, nails, genitals, and the knees. So these are the most and the toenails also. These are the most prominent and the common sites where the psoriasis initially starts, the lesions of psoriasis. So if you see the clinical presentation, how does the psoriasis appear? Classical psoriasis, it is well defined. You can see this is well defined. Then you can see this, it is sharply demarcated. You can see the demarcations, there is sharp demarcation. Then there is round oval shaped lesions. They are round oval shaped lesions. Then it is usually symmetrical. If it starts in one hand, then at the same place and the other side also it starts. They are erythematous raised plaques which are red in color most when they start sometimes, and they are usually covered with white silvery scales. So this is how it's a round oval sharply demarcated erythematous covered with white silvery scales. So this is how a classical psoriatic plaque or a lesion looks like. So the differential diagnosis is seborrheic dermatitis, pityriasis, rosea, tinea corporis, discoid lupus erythematous, eczema, lichen planus, secondary syphilis, drug eruptions, and pityriasis lichenoides. These are all the differential diagnosis of psoriasis. Now, if you see the diagnosis of psoriasis, it is mostly clinical. It is totally clinical. There are no blood investigations. You can go for a skin biopsy. So the diagnosis of psoriasis is made by Auspitz signs. Now, what is Auspitz sign? I'll show you. It is in the next slide, if you see. So this is the Auspitz signs. When you remove a plaque, when you remove the skin from the plaque of psoriasis, forcibly, there is pinpoint bleeding. So this pinpoint bleeding is nothing but, this is called as the Auspitz sign, which is positive only in psoriatic conditions. And it is only, why is this happening? Because there is severe thinning of the epidermal layer, and that is the reason why this sign appears. So this is the diagnostic criteria for psoriasis. And the second is Voronhoff's rings. These rings are actually concentric blanching of erythematous skin at or near the periphery of a healing psoriatic plaque. So when the psoriasis is healing, the patient is applying some medications or is taking some oral medications or applying something on the skin. Then when the healing is taking place, if you can appreciate the white circular, background on the red plug of the skin, that is called as Voronov rings. That is showing that the patient is healing, the lesions are healing. So, okay. So these two are the clinical diagnosis of psoriasis, how you do it. Next is the investigations. I told you only skin biopsy is done, and these are the findings that you find in the skin biopsy of a psoriatic lesion. There is hyperkeratosis, there is parakeratosis, then there is microabscess of Monro, there is hypo or absent granular layer, there is regular acanthosis, spongiform pustule of Kojov, and thinning of suprapapillary dermal portion. This, if a patient comes to you with this report, then you can confirm the diagnosis as psoriasis. This is how it appears. Moving further, principle of clinical diagnosis. How history taking is one of the most important point or factor in patients of psoriasis. So in history of present illness, you should ask whether they had any recent history of cold, cough, or staphylococcal infection, whether the patient had any psychological trauma or major loss in the family. Then you have to ask the patient since how long these lesions are, when did it start, what was the season that it started, what was the trigger that actually happened. So all these things points are important in the present history. Family history, as we all know, that this is inherited mostly 30%, according to allopathy. 30% of the cases have a family history. So we have to ask for family history. Personal history is also important. In that, we will be asking about eating habits, sleeping habits, diet habits, ahar, vihar, and manas hetus. All addictions will be asked in this. And past history, will ask history of any illnesses in the past. Also, you have to ask about the various drugs that were taken. We just saw that various NSAIDs, chloroquine, lithium drugs, they also precipitate psoriasis. So this has to be asked. And history of present and past medications will be in past history only. Examination of a skin lesion must be done under sufficient adequate light. It should be either sunlight or fluorescent light source. And it is very important that if it is in the genital area, it is very important for the doctor, for the Vaidya, to see the affected part, because until unless we don't see the skin lesion, we will not be able to make a proper diagnosis and treat the patient. Also, mucous membrane, the scalp and nails should be examined, because patients have nail psoriasis most of the times, and easily it can be ignored. So this should be checked. Now we'll talk about the Ayurvedic perspective of psoriasis. So there is not any separate description about psoriasis which can be related to Vipadika or Kitiba Kushta or Eka Kushta. So introduction of Kushta, any kind of discoloration of the skin, is called as Kushta in Ayurveda. We all know that. Kushta, it is the Vyadhi of Raktava Srotas Dushti. According to Sushrutaracharya, it is a Kulaja Vyadhi and Karmaja Vyadhi. When we see the Nidan of Kushta, so there it has been mentioned insulting the gurus और सज्जनों का अपमान करना, परस्त्री का अपमान करना, उसके साथ दुर्व्यवहार करना, या फिर किसी का वध कर देना, किसी की कोई संपत्ति या पैसा चुरा लेना, चोरी करना, ये जो सारे पाप कर्म है, इस वजह से भी कुष्ठ की उत्पत्ति होती है, ऐसा सुश्रुत में रेफरेंस मिलता है. इसके लिए ये कर्मज व्याधि भी है. जेनेटिक्स इन कुष्ठ के बारे में सुश्रुत ने और एक चीज बताई है कि अगर जब शुक्र शोणित दुष्ट हुआ है, when the parents who are शुक्र शोणित की दुष्टि, और ऐसे जब स्त्री पुरुष एक होके वहां से मतलब संतान उत्पत्ति होती है, तो ऐसे वक्त में वो होने वाले संतान को सोरियोसिस या कुष्ठ होने की चांसेस है. मॉडर्न रिसर्च के हिसाब से अगर 50% ऑफ द if both the parents are having psoriasis, then there is 50% chance that the child will have, and if one parent is having, then the probability it reduces to 30%. So कुष्ठ means, कुष्ठ शब्द की निरुक्ति है कि जो डिस्ट्रॉय करता है या डिफॉर्म करता है उसे कुष्ठ कहते हैं, and that which destroys with certainty is called as kushta. It gives ugly look to the body and it leads to vaivaranya or discoloration of the skin. So based on the causes, in Ayurveda, kushta is classified into, if you see the causes, there are two causes, त्रिदोष and चतुर्दोषी. त्रिदोषों की दुष्टि होती है और 4 धातुओं की दुष्टि होती है, और इसके बावजूद इनका क्लासिफिकेशन किया गया है. फिर भी वातज पित्तज कफज ऐसे इनके क्लासिफिकेशन है, इसके बावजूद भी सारे कुष्ठ जो है वो त्रिदोष प्रधानता से ही उत्पन्न होते हैं. फिर देयर आर टाइप्स, 7 टाइप्स ऑफ शूद्र महाकुष्ठास एंड 11 टाइप्स ऑफ शूद्र कुष्ठास. इसमें भी मतांतर है थोड़े ग्रंथकारों के, बट विल नॉट गो इन डिटेल. वी हैव टू talk about the treatment part in detail. So when we talk about psoriasis in Ayurveda, there is no precise and exact correlation. It is not possible. So it can be compared to Eka Kushta or Kitiba Kushta depending on their symptoms. Also, we can equate the palmoplantar type of psoriasis to Vipadika. And if we see that all these are types of Shudra Kushta, that is Eka Kushta, Kitiba Kushta and Vipadika, they are all types of Shudra Kushtas, and they are of Vata Kapha origin. So if we talk about Eka Kushta, the Lakshanas that have been told in the Grantha, Charak Chikitsa Sthan, it is Asvedanam Mahavastu Yatsya Matsya Shakalopam Tadeka Kushtam. So if you see, Asvedanam is anhydrosis, Mahavastu is the lesion is big, and scaling, that is similar to the fish skin. So that is why it is called as Matsya Shakalopam. And then it says that the color of the skin becomes blackish red in Eka Kushta by Sushruta. If you see this, there is Asvedan. This you will not be able to appreciate Asvedam, but this you have to ask the patient. At the site of the lesion also, and entire body also. So Mahavastu, you can see the lesion is big and there is scaling similar to the skin of fish. If you see the description of Kitiba Kushta, it is called as Kshava Kinakharasparsham Parusham Kitibam Srutam. So it is blackish brown in color. It is rough in touch, like a scar tissue, very, very tough and hard to touch. So there is excessive thickness at the place of the lesion. And if you see, Sushruta has said that there is discharge in Kitiba Kushta. It is circular, it is dense, there is severe itching, and it is slimy and blackish in color. These are the signs and symptoms of Kushta according to Charaka and Sushruta. You can see this can be compared to Kitiba Kushta, Kina Kharasparsha, thick lesions, but there is no oozing. So the description given by Charaka fits here, but there is no oozing, there is no discharge, it is not slimy. And Vipadika, if you see the palms and soles, they develop cracks and there is severe pain. If you can see, if you can see the crack over here, and the patient is not able to do daily chores, the little work that the patient has to, even lifting the glass or eating their regular food. So that is badly hampered because of Vipadika or the palmoplantar type of psoriasis. If I would like to mention especially during the COVID conditions, when the sanitizers were used extensively, the patients of the palmoplantar type of psoriasis had a real bad time with the sanitizers, and all their skin conditions got aggravated. So this is one of the irritants that we saw in the aggravating factor can be associated over here, sanitizers. Okay, so if you see, we'll talk about the Nidan Panchak of psoriasis now. So if you see in Ayurveda, they have not described the Nidan Panchak of Shudra Kushta separately. So whatever has been told about Kushta is true for Shudra Kushta also, and the same is applied to psoriasis. So we'll talk about this major. Okay, so what are the Nidan, or what are the etiological factors for psoriasis? This is very important because Nidan Parivarshan is the first line of treatment for any disorder. This holds especially true for skin problems because they are one of the they are the factors that actually bring the pathogenesis in the body. So they bring about the pathology in the body. So we need to withdraw the Nidan or the causes that are leading to the formation of Kushta or Kitiba Kushta or psoriasis in the body. So first is Viruddha Ahar. So Viruddha Ahar is eating together, just say when you nowadays when they make chicken, so they marinate the chicken with curd, which is Viruddha Ahar. Then using milk and egg together, raw milk, drinking raw milk, using honey in the diet, they cook honey in the diet. So all these are Viruddha Ahars. Also taking fruit salads, fruits and milk should not be taken together. This is also Viruddha Ahar. Then Guru Ahar, food that is heavy to digest should not be consumed, because when we take food that is heavy to digest, then that is going to give the load on the Agni, Jathar Agni. If the Jathar Agni is going to be heavily loaded, then it is going to hamper the digestion. उससे जो उत्पन्न होने वाले रसरक्तादि धातु है उनकी उत्पत्ति अच्छे से नहीं होने के कारण भी दोषों की उत्पत्ति होती है और उस वजह से संप्राप्ति घटन शुरू हो जाता है। उसके बाद एक्सेसिव लिक्विड इनटेक इज वन ऑफ द कॉज। इफ यू सी इन कुष्ठ रक्तवात स्रोतस का व्याधि है और रक्त दुष्टि के जो कारण